We've added another section to our jubilant drum and bass track here, folks. It's shaping up to sound a lot like a lot of my music right now. I'm not really feeling like I've branched out here, but we'll talk about the new things we tried here in a little bit. For now, just kind of play you what we had before into what is now new. So this was already here. And this is new. Probably some of you listen to this who are like, oh, that's fantastic, that's incredible, it's so different, I've never heard that before. If you've listened to my music a lot though, this is me, this is what I write. The new things we built today in particular are this instrument. It's cool. The notes just sound like, that's kind of the overall articulation. This is our main envelope here. We use this envelope for a number of things as well. Not automated anything on here like the basic saw wave. Didn't even tweak the wave shape. This envelope is modulating the filter here, and also modulating this formant filter over here, which gives that kind of vocal quality. Without that, it's very different. Multiband, distortion, and then lots of voices over here is really what's giving it a lot of that shape. And then some EQ, some chroma glow, some more multiband compression with Logic's default multiband compressor, and then more EQ to like just, I don't know. I was kind of just trying the like approach of like, what if I just stacked a whole bunch of similar effects over and over again? Would I get the sound that becomes more and more compressed and more saturated? Because I feel like that's what I see a lot of artists that I respect doing. They'll be like, so we have this sound here, and then we put this EQ, and this brings up this little thing, and then we put this compressor, which just brings out the warmth, and then we put this EQ to do this little piece up in the top. It feels so weird to me that like you're stacking EQs and like I feel like I just don't hear what they're hearing. That's so unique, but it's clearly working because I like their sounds always much better than my sounds. So we tried some of that today with this one to see if this was better. You know, I mean, if you turn all these off and volume match it, it's probably not that much different. What are you doing down there? Are you okay? Just go listen to my album, okay? The link's in the bio. It'll fix your problem. Stop watching me eat food. What are you doing? It was a cool sound, and in context, I didn't mind it. It was cool. We also, with this instrument down here, this is kind of new. It's a sound I really like, but it's what we've been using underneath. And when you're not having to be individual notes, but rather having it be a chord, it has kind of a very different character to it, which is fun. It is very basic though. It's just so basic. I definitely need to change up some of the break beats and like the percussion stuff. We've just been having the exact same percussion for 16 bars here now, so we need to, or I think actually 32 bars. So we definitely need to like have some shakeups there. The percussion is very boring. One thing I tried to set up today was ShaperBox MIDI triggering. People have talked a lot about how like there's like latency with tools like ShaperBox that get introduced by other effects in its chain. And one way to get around that is to use a MIDI trigger rather than to go in off the internal clock. But it just seems so much more clunky. I tried it here where I set up this channel. You have to like set up ShaperBox as an instrument, have all the sounds that you want to go through that one ShaperBox, go into a specific bus, and then that bus gets side chained in here. And then on this instrument, you build a MIDI trigger. So this is just literally the drum and bass groove, the 1, 2, 1, 2, you know, kind of thing. And then that's just rolled out here. And so you can hear it go. It works, but the problem I have with it is that it's this shape every time. I can't make it do a different drop for the snare versus the kick, so depending on if I wanted to side chain compress both of them. So what I found was easier than that was just to have all the instruments that I wanted to do it on a bus, and then that bus's only thing being ShaperBox. In theory, this should not have any latency. So that's what I saw. That's what I've got all my basses here going through. And that gives me that little bit of flexibility to have it not dip out as much for the snare as it is for the kick. Hearing other people say that like you really need to be like sensitive about that latency issue is a thing I want to take seriously. But I don't know. I also am weirded out because I put a ShaperBox on this pad down here. Da 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 da. It sounds swung, and as far as I know, that's not a thing it can do. There's no like swing slider on here somewhere that makes it feel swung. But it was weird to like. Okay, maybe the drum and bass just feels more swung in certain circumstances than I realized. Also, I also did mess around with audio triggering, because you can do the same thing on this thing. Instead of having it be on MIDI mode, you can have it be on audio mode, and it's literally just sidechain compresses. But with the drum and bass, with how fast it is, and again, wanting to not necessarily as heavily sidechain compress when it's the snare versus the kick, it just was like too much. It was just too much. It didn't really work. So I think I'm probably gonna keep doing it the way I'm already doing it and just try to be really sensitive about that latency. Make sure that the ShaperBox is either the first thing on the chain or everything is kind of going into a bus that has the ShaperBox on it. And yeah, I think that should be just fine. I don't see why I have to do it any other way than that. So, yep, that's all we did today. Thanks so much for watching. Keep working on tomorrow. See you guys then. Bye.